today is going to be a Q&A. I'm going to be answering questions regarding coloring, as well as some other questions regarding my inspirations, and some other program information. So the program I use is Paint Tool Sci, and the tablet I'm using is a small Wacom Intuos tablet. I'm going to put all that product information down below. Next question is about proportions. My previous video mainly focused on this question, but a little TLDR for that is I use shapes to help section off and format subjects. So in this piece I don't really use super distinct shapes for everything. The previous video was just to help simplify and lay everything out for you guys to see just basically a clearer version of my sketching process. So for this piece, I just kind of started off by drawing little half circles for his ears, and then I just went onto his face, and I started from the head and then moved down. For his face, I just started from drawing the outside just to get his face shape down, and then kind of started drawing lines to get very rough measurements for where I wanted his facial features to be. But I do recommend watching the previous video for more in-depth sketching tips. Now on to coloring, which is my most asked question. How do I paint skin? For this piece in particular, and for the majority of my pieces, the most important tips I can give is just to constantly layer and know your complementary colors, okay? Like, layering is going to be your best friend. In this piece, I just began by putting down some neutral yellow color for that base skin color. I got a little lazy, so I just kind of made that my background. But on a separate layer, I began putting down some warm shadows. I guess this is sort of where color theory comes in. So when you look at a color wheel, you're just gonna want to know which colors are opposites, and those are the ones that you sort of want to stick with in your pieces. So for this piece, I sort of stuck with blues, oranges, purples, and yellows, kind of a mix between all those colors. But just as a general note that helps me distinguish with which complementary colors are which, just know that warm and cool tone colors are gonna be opposites / complements of each other. So on the warm side, you're gonna have red, orange, and yellow, and then you sort of go into cool colors once you reach green. I think green is sort of in limbo between those two colors, depending on how you look at it, but I'm wishing it into cool colors category. So for the cool colors, you're gonna have green, blue, and purple. So when you're painting, just mainly try to use your complementary colors to help form your palette. But it's not like required to have a successful piece. It just helps me make things more simple. So for the light shadows, you're using like the warm colors, and then once you start to get into your intense, more distinct colors, you're using cool tone colors. Just for like basic images, or just this particular drawing in general, that's what I'm doing. I hope that helps for basic coloring. But onto what I'm doing after this step is I just made sure that my background color was a different one that I wanted it to be, and I just made sure that the layer that I have my skin on doesn't have any gaps in it. I use the color drop tool to help layer on mixing colors instead of using the blur tool too much. I think of painting as if I'm sculpting something that's actually there, but without too much pressure on myself or putting down like the smaller insignificant details. So I'm mainly focusing on putting shadows and lights down just to get a basic grasp of his features. I put the light shadows down first, again like the warm colors first, and then once I'm happy with that, I put down darker, cooler shadows for where they most stand out to me. So if it helps to squint at your reference to sort of see where the most intense shadows pop out, that's an option. Just remember to color lightly. This also applies for like traditionally drawing as well. but I hope that helps. On to the next question. What artist inspired me the most? On God, I think it was definitely this artist that I cannot pronounce the name of, but it starts with a P. Their work is so gorgeous. I think I saw this drawing of one of the guys from that anime called Free a couple years back, the one with the swimmers. Yes, I was a weeb, but I still enjoy anime today. I just don't have like all the time like that. But their drawing was of the main character, and he was like in a mermaid tail, and at that moment 15-year-old me was like, I want to draw like that. That's effing sick. Peace signs. And so I think I just began being inspired, and I guess I also enjoy like a bunch of the other artists that I follow on Instagram, because they just be like bro moment. So that's it for today's video. If I didn't answer your question, don't worry, I'm gonna make another video just for you and answer as many questions as I can. I just don't want to make this video too long, so